Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the Deceptilab. And if you were here for my last live stream, you know that the five-star Batch 13 was revealed last week by myself and several other of the official content creators. So, because of that, I'm starting a short series to analyze each of these bots as 4 stars just to see what we need to do to make them great as 5 stars. Now, in this series, I'm not going to include Rotostorm and Spinister or Roadbuster and Half Shell. I've already done videos on those bots, and if you need to see those, I added those to the link below in the bio so that you can check those out if you hadn't already seen them. But this is the perfect opportunity, I feel like, for the remaining bots in the batch to test them and to basically share my views with you guys and to get feedback from you guys as the player community so that we can try to build the best bot possible for you on the content creator and play tester side. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. Enjoy, and I'll see you out there. All right, everyone. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Leozack and Scattershot. So I want to start off talking about his base stats. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the base stat, menu. And so in this particular case, the bot that I have is a 4 star, level 70, and his base damage is 643.9. Now we're adding in the 15% perk bonus for the Titan Tech tree that carries him up to 752. He starts off with a base health of 2,000, 20,000, excuse me, 20,000 even, but then with the 15% boost that carries him to 23,000 even. So not bad. I mean, they got him as a special class bot. Um, he does have some characteristics of an air class bot. We'll talk about that in a moment. But we want to look at the ability itself. It's called Acid Cannon. So you're going to fire an acid beam and you're going to deal a certain amount of damage. In this case, for a 4 star maxed out is 6,106 acid damage. And then you're going to have some splash damage that's going to take over. And you'll get 3,053 acid damage for that. And all of this is going to take place over a 10-second period. So with the acid being the meta right now, one of the things that you're looking for is the anti-heal properties of the acid. But one major problem that I have with Leozack is he is insanely expensive. So I'm going to show you two other bots that I compared him to. When I look at it, I think that the cost has to come down. So let's look at these bots and I'll show you why I feel like the cost is way too expensive. The first bot I want to look at is Double Dealer. Now they only have him as a 4 star. I think he would have been a better 5 star than Leozack. But the problem is that I'm looking at his ability to toxic mission, and so you're doing 8 acid balls. That's going to deliver 2,430. This is the maxed out 4 star version, level 70, and surprisingly, like this dude lasts 20 seconds. That's 20 seconds of anti heal, and you get up to 4 stacks, and it's going to prevent enemies from healing. Now look at his cost. The cost is 3 plus 1. Now I get it. He is a triple changer. He has a second ability, and nobody wants a bot that you got to spend stupid amounts of cost on. So with this incendiary missile, though, that's at 3 plus 2. You go use this ability, it combos off of the acid ability and gets an additional 20% damage in that area. So not only are you doing massive amounts of destruction, and you get 20 seconds of anti-heal. So for that, I would have rather have seen him as the acid bot put into the 5 star batch for very, very cheap. I mean, that first cost, I can go take care of a cluster with probably with the 5 star version for realistically 6 points. I don't need to spam them. I just need to use them for all the healing that's done within that cluster. So let's take a look at one other bot that I compared them to during my survey, during playtesting, so you can get a good look at that also. The next bot I want to talk about is Acid Storm Autobot counterpart-Scattershot. And so I've got the maxed out 4-star version of him as well. And when I look at the damage and health, the damage with him being an air class bot is much higher. You're starting off with a base damage of 790 plus 2. And then in this particular case, I've got him ranked up, so he's got an additional 5%. But the perk bonus for the air class is 15%. So ultimately, with a combination of all of those qualities, he's going to have 954.1 for his damage per second. The health is, you know, it's it's okay. It's an air class, but it's going to be less. We've got him at 14,600 for the base. Rank adds 5%. Titan Tech Tree adds 15%. So for a grand total of 17,520. So ultimately, the air class bot is pretty good. The acid storm ability is what gets me. So level 10 acid storm ability, 5,811 damage. So you're looking somewhere in that same general neighborhood damage wise for fire damage. Now you're also going to have 15 seconds of anti heal when you're using acid storm. This is the longest. Now double deal is the longest, but out of all the bots that we already have as 5-star bots, Acid Storm has the longest amount of anti-heal, which was part of my conversation I was having when they changed the ability 11 for knockout. They changed it from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. And ultimately, that's what made me take knockout off of my team. But for the purpose of looking at bots, I'm looking at bots that have these air class type abilities. And so Double Dealer and Acid Storm fit the bill in that particular case. Also note Acid Storm's cost. At 3.2, he is by far the most efficient of the acid bots that you can use. He's got excellent range, and especially compared to Leozack. So let's go to the battlefield and take a look at Leozack's range and his other abilities and qualities. All right, so I'm running a base trial with Leozack, and I've got it in Prime League hard mode. And one of the things that I want to start off with is a lot of people say, "Well, Freeze, I don't play in Prime League. I play in Cybertron League, or I play in Caminus or Gold." But when I'm going into a 5-star batch, so say I do promote up to a different league, I want a bot that's going to be sustainable through all different leagues, all different modes. I want bots that I can event with. Like if I'm going to invest my time and in some cases my money into a bot, I want them to be usable for everything. So in this case, I'm going to lead off with Leozack. And the first thing I mentioned, we want to look at his range. So his range is decent, but when I go look at a bot like Acid Storm, he's going to be much more. I'll show you Acid Storm in a second. So I'm going to go use Leozack ability. He hovers there for a little bit. He's going to take some damage. You can see as he's getting in there from the missile launcher. And this is the part that actually ticks me off. See, Leozack is going, he's a melee type bot, and he's going to rush right into danger. Now, when I use a bot like Acid Storm, you can already see that his range is greater. Now, he's getting shot by Scourge right now, no big deal. But my issue is I want to take a look at how the two bots perform in terms of ranges. So we'll take a look at that real quick. Now we're taking a look at Acid Storm again, and notice where it says for his range. His range is short, so you can make the argument that, oh, there's not that big of a deal between short and melee range, right? Here's the kicker. An air class bot is going to be able to carry these gunner type combat, so you can use Crater Maker. Fireline, which I actually use on him on my war team, makes him short range, but there's ways to navigate that. But for like Crater Maker or Fracas, perfectly okay. Now, I'm not expecting Leozack to get air class combats like Singe, unless they actually change from the air class, which I don't foresee happening. But I do think he needs to be able to have the gunner type combats. for Acid Storm, you can still carry these minions and stuff like that. Ignore the Sword of Balance there. The Sword of Balance is not supposed to be equipable to Acid Storm, so that's a bug that's going to be taken care of. But when I go look at that, and I go look at Leozack, and we'll go back to his descriptions real quick, you're going to see that Leozack, he has those air class qualities when you use his ability, like we were just looking at, and he is a melee bot. You just saw that on video. He rushes into danger. So now I have to manage this a lot. So for my team, I've got Cutthroat. For my team, I've got, Nemesis Prime. Do I just keep spamming their abilities to keep him safe? And that is going to be the key problem. That and his ability cost is going to be the key problem for him as a 5-star. The ability cost has to come down, I feel like, to be similar to other flying acid bots, and he's got to stop doing melee damage. Now, I did have a conversation with a player in regards to the range of his ability. If we go and allow him to equip gunner class combat bots, right now he cannot equip gunner class combat bots. He equips melee type combat bots and minions. This is not going to get it done. Now, if they decide to leave Leozack this way, there are some options you're going to have. You can use Baru, because every 15 seconds, he's going to kind of delay him so he can shoot his long range tornado. But do you really want to depend on intermittent ability just to keep your bot out of danger? I could say the same thing with Gabu, who is going to do the same thing every 10 seconds. But I don't want that. I want to consistently be able to keep this low health bot out of harm's way. And this is one of the things that we talked about when Leozack was first in test. And to the point that the playtesters were basically blue in the face talking about the range on this bot performs as he's like an air class bot. And when I look at special class bots, you usually categorize them some sort of way. You have some special class bots that really fill the role of warriors. You have some that really fill the role of gunners. In this case, we have one that really fills the role of an air class bot, but he's being treated like he is a tank essentially, and he doesn't have tank health. He doesn't have anything resembling that should put him in melee range. So it's tough. You have to change him and take him out of melee range or give him different combats. Like he can have melee range if you have the gunner combats, because the gunner combats are going to keep him back. But I think this is one change that has to take place for him to be part of the meta. Even if they leave, his ability cost is more expensive. But all right, let's go in and summarize everything we talked about, and we'll go over to the Deceptilab. So just to summarize, I want to say that as a playtester and as a content creator, I want the best bot possible that you guys can get. And so hopefully you guys saw some of the things I was talking about. I talked about the high ability cost. Honestly, some of the other bots that deal acid are better. We've had bots who through the last 3 batches that deal acid, and so we're still kind of chasing acid bots despite the fact that in the last 3 we've had acid bots inside the 5-star batches. Let me know in the chat and let me know in the live chat what you think about Leozack. Are there things that you want to see improve? And please let me know in enough time while we're still in testing so that we can get this feedback to Space 8 before the batch is released. We don't want you guys to get a bot ultimately that you're not satisfied with. So definitely give me that feedback, guys. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and take off. Thank you for joining. And also join me on my live stream every week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Freezius out.